So welcome everyone. Thanks for jumping on and listening to our beautiful Charlotte Venter Pro 9 here in Australia, who is going to share a bit more of her journey into how she's built this business, why she built the business, and how we can build. So it's going to be more of a coaching call where we can ask questions if something comes up. And Charlotte, I didn't confirm with you before, but how much time do you have today to give us? Is it 40 minutes
or an hour? We can do
okay,
an hour.
Fantastic. Yep,
Yeah.
we've got an hour spare. So I'll introduce, we've got Katie and Samantha are both from the US. So they're my US team who are driving the team up there out there. I think it's up or sideways from us. But these beautiful women have been a part of my life for close to 5 or 6 months now. And they have literally changed the direction of just the focus of how we want to build. We've become very kingdom focused in our business skills and focus on how we want to build. And they've really changed my life, which is exciting. But I know that these products and this business is also changing their lives. And then Sigrun is in Rockhampton. I think you've met Sigrun before. And Tessa is in New Zealand. So she's originally from the Netherlands. She's married to a South African husband, which is how we kind of just had that bit of connection. And her and her husband all about freedom living. So what you're doing right now is what their aim is in the next few months, to go on the road and just live full time on the road. So I'm going to pass it over to you and you can introduce yourself.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Talida. I never take this for granted. I never take it lightly, because I know, that my words potentially could impact you guys big time today. So it's always an honor for me and something I take really seriously. So thank you for giving me the hour, to share with you. So my story is one of, I think many people can relate. I've worked initially in my life, worked in a bank. My husband's a structural engineer, so he worked for a boss. And back in South Africa 20 years ago, before we immigrated, he was a director in an engineering company. I worked for a big company called SA Home Loans. I was their national sales manager and wanted a big change. When we immigrated 20 years ago, I promised my mum I was never ever going to work for a boss again, because I had missed out so much time with my kids. And my son was 8, my daughter was 5, so we immigrated, really downscaled. Hubby got a job straight up and worked as an engineer, and I was mum. But I've always been super entrepreneurial, and I get bored really quickly. Even when I was on maternity leave with my daughter, I started, within the first couple of weeks, I started a catering business and ran a pretty decent catering business in the 6 months that I had off work. So I've always had that in my bones, and I love business. I remember as a kid playing in my mum's study. That was my favorite place, and I would write out invoices and just play business, so I love business, but I struggled finding a good business. So, in the 20 years that we've been in Australia, I did all sorts of stuff. I started at the market, I made crafts, I imported stuff and sold it. I did contract work for home loan companies, and then I went on to doing a big company with a friend of mine. We designed, developed, and patented and manufactured a specialty dental floss, put it out into 12 different countries and sold it off, and really still didn't make a ton of money. We made a little bit of profit, which really, if I think about it now, wasn't even worth the 6 years of my time working that business full time. So I was still looking. And then one day I saw a friend of mine just constantly, not one day, like over months, I saw her posting happy stuff on Facebook. And I just used to think she's so annoying. And then the one day I messaged her and I said, hey, I need to know what you're doing, because honestly, if I see another post of you jumping up and down with joy, I think I'm going to jump down a mountain. So let's go and meet. So we went and we had a coffee. And she introduced me to network marketing, and I was like, nope, I don't do it, but I'll use the products. The products sound really good. And so I started using the products, loved it, had some good results. And she was in my ear constantly, you'll be so good at this, you'll be so good at this, just do the business, do the business. And then one day I said to her, if I go to one event, will you stop asking me, because you are so annoying. And I'm like avoiding you now, and I don't want our friendship to end up like that. So she said, yes, I will. So I went to a convention in Brisbane. It was with Isagenix, and I sat there thinking, what is my problem? This, from what I'm hearing off the stage, is legitimate. these people have the life I want. I'm going to go back home and I'm going to research and see, why am I so anti this? Because I didn't really even know. I was just anti. And then I researched and researched and researched, and I was surprised to see that top guys like Richard Branson, and I love him. You know, he's one of my idols. I've read all his autobiography, all his books. He says it's a good business model. It's a legitimate business model. In fact, he says my next company that I open is going to be a network marketing business. I saw guys like Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest men in the world, saying it's a really good business model, and he owns several multi-level, network marketing companies. So I thought, you know what, let's just give it a go. I mean, I'm buying product in any way, and I know the stuff can help people, so let me just give it a go. And at the same time, the company launched a trip to San Diego. So I thought, this is all I'm going to do. I'm just going to win this trip and then I'm going to leave. And so I worked. It was 6 months. I earned the trip for the first time. Hubby and I went to the States. It was a 2-person, all expenses paid trip. And I sat at there, like looking at what women were getting up, saying, I used to be a waitress. I'm a single mom. And I've started this business and now I'm earning $20,000 a month. And I remember sitting there thinking, that's it, I'm in, I'm fully in. So I went back home and really built it. And, I was earning within let's say 8 months, I was earning $2,500 a week, which was really good. I was happy with that. But then what happened, my daughter had an accident. She broke her back, and my husband at the time was working in Saudi Arabia. So I was super stressed. I had one child at university, one child with a broken back. I had my husband's mum and dad live with us, so I had to care for them. And so for 3 months, I was in and out of hospital with my daughter. She got pressure on her brain. It just ended up bad. And I couldn't touch my business. In fact, I couldn't even think about it. My mind was so consumed with my family. And then after 3 months, when I looked at my business, my volume had reduced by 40%. And I thought, what the heck? They tell me this is like, what, beach money? You can own the beach and not work and you're going to earn this forever. They lied. And I'm not happy. And so I started doing research to see, well, what happened? And then I discovered retention. I discovered the importance of retention in a business. And I went on to looking. December 2015, I made a decision because my husband and I were in a bad spot. We were financially tight. We looked at our future and we sort of, figured out we're probably going to work until we're 70 and then retire and, just not have the life we wanted. So I made a decision in a bubble bath with him to go find the right company and the right product and then just give it my all. And so January, when he was back at work, kids were back at uni, I jumped in and I printed out the top 100 companies registered in Australia with the Direct Sales Association. And I was pretty adamant to find a NASDAQ company. I did not want to work with a company that's not publicly traded because I'd seen big companies just shut down overnight or make decisions like we no longer need the distributors overnight. And I knew that if I had a NASDAQ company, I'd be safer. So there's only 13. Did you know that? There's 13 out of almost 11,000 registered network marketing companies that's NASDAQ traded, publicly traded. And I looked at them, saw Protandim, and I fell in love. I fell in love instantly with Protandim because of its uniqueness and the science behind it, and the fact that it's new science, it's new methods. Activation is not like supplementation. It is like driving like a little Hyundai. No offense if you're driving a Hyundai, but it's like driving a little Hyundai versus driving a huge big 4-wheel drive Land Cruiser. Like if I could use that analogy, like it just, you're not comparing the same thing to the same thing. And I saw it's unique. Nobody had it and it's affordable. And then I started looking at testimonials. I spent 3 days watching videos on YouTube and I saw people are having success from the most basic thing, like, sleeping better, to I saw some big stuff, like people really claiming all sorts of things. And I thought, man, this is it. So I jumped in April 2016 after, found a leader, decided who I was going to join with, spoke to the company, told them I'm in Australia, really want to build this business large. Would they support us? Would they run events, etc.? And kicked it off on the 4th of April 2016. Guys, it took me 13 months to rank to Pro 7, 28 months to rank to Pro 8, 32 months to retire my husband, and 39 months to rank to Pro 9. And my goal is June this year to be Pro 10, and I'm on track, so it's looking good. Now, what did I do? Look, I've made many, many mistakes, and I always warn the team that at some stage I'm going to cheese you off. Just please trust me that I don't mean to, like, just forgive me now already and tell me when I do, you know, upset you. Or, but it's not like anybody knows it all when you start. You just don't. You make so many mistakes. You present so badly. I had my daughter sit in the office about a year ago, laughing while I was on a presentation. I was on a call with somebody, and when I was finished, I said to her, "What are you laughing about?" And she said, "Mum, you got to come look at this. I just watched your very first presentation and you were so bad." And I was really bad. But you know what? I was hungry for a different life. So number one, you know, you really got to ask yourself, how hungry are you for success? I have had massive obstacles over my 6 years in this company. I've had personal issues. I've had, you know, people tell me I'm a bad leader. People tell me I'm fake. People tell me, how can you make money from your friends? I've had my best friends reject me. My family reject me. I've been in hospital twice because I probably overworked and did too much. Like, it's really not been an easy thing, but it has been the most worthy thing I've done in my entire life. And I'll tell you why. My husband is retired. It's been 3 years now. This guy will never have to work for a boss again. Never. I actually believe I saved his life. You know, I didn't realize how bad he was, but he told me 3 days before he finally left work, he phoned me one day and he said, "Honey, I never told you, but many times when I was driving home from work, I contemplated driving into a brick concrete bridge or taking my own life because I just didn't see a future. I just didn't see how I would ever get out of this. I just didn't see, like, how would I go from surviving to really living the life that I wanted." You know, so I think about that. I think about my freedom individually, my purpose as a woman, you know, to know that I'm the breadwinner now, to know that I've really made an impact, to know that I've set up my children with phenomenal businesses, my grandchildren with a phenomenal future. It is so big. I can't put dollars on it. I can't even, it's hard for me to find words. You can see I'm struggling, right? To see how I'm impacting other people, to see, you know, just last week we had a lady, I mean, it was really emotional. Thursday, I think it was, she came on a call. She's a customer. My distributor said, I want you to meet this lady. She was in a wheelchair. 6 weeks after using Protandim, she stood up and walked for the first time in 10 years. Guys, like, when you see stuff like that happening, and it, you know, we're not going to claim we're going to cure, heal, prevent, mitigate, diagnose anything, but you see the stuff happening. And then when I see moms, women like you, I'm so passionate about women, and I'm passionate about young people making decisions now to set their lives up for the best life ever. When I see that happening, my cup overflows. My cup overflows, guys. And you know, that is legacy. Legacy means your life keeps giving even when you're gone. And a dream for me is to make my life keep giving even when I'm gone. And you know, we can do that in so many ways. I'll tell you about my children. So immediately when I started my business, and I encourage all of you to do this, I signed up both my kids. They were not interested in the business. They had no future planned at all of being a part of it. But I thought, you know what, who knows? And I'm going to just put you in there, and I'm going to build under you, and maybe one day you will. And I used to just call them into the office and say, "Hey, Brandon, come check out your business. You know, it's now doing 50,000 a month in volume. And hey, Robin, yours is doing 100,000. Or, gosh, you know that's like over $1 million a year. Wow. And I'd like, you know, do that. And then they'd like come in and say, Mom, what's my business now? Mom, what's my business now? And then my son and his wife are both engineers. My daughter studied paramedics, but she had to leave because of her back. So long story. But, you know, my son came in first one day. He said, Mom, can I talk with you? He was working full time. I said, yeah, sure. He's like, no, Mom. You know, when your kids say, can I talk with you? And you sort of keep typing, you're like, yeah, sure. What is it? And he goes, no, Mom, we need to talk. So in other words, turn around, Mom, like give me your attention. And so I did. And he's like, Mom, please, I want to build this business. I am not working for somebody else for the next 30 or 40 years of my life. I'm not doing it. So him and his wife both resigned from the engineering jobs. You know, guys, they studied 5 years, right? They were earning like $60,000 a month. Are you kidding me? That is like less than a Pro 6. Like, honestly, are you kidding me? Like Pro 6, I did in 4 months. You really, if you work and you're committed and you're hungry, you can do the same. You can do Pro 6 after 6 months, 12 months, you know, whatever it takes you. But you don't have to go study 5 years and then work for 30 or 40 years of your life for somebody else. No, you don't, because we have found the best. By far, I still, you know, I look around at a lot of stuff. I'm constantly looking at new companies launching. I'm looking at what existing companies are doing. There is nothing like LiveVantage, nothing, but it's up to you to use what's been put in your hand. You know, I'm a firm believer, if you don't use what you've been given, you will lose it. And I've seen that happen to people in our business already. And I want to encourage you, don't lose it. Use it. Be hungry for it. You know, my daughter is 25. She now earns $12,000 a month. Residual. She doesn't have to do nothing for it. My son, their business is half the size. So my son is 28. They married, about to have their first baby. I'm going to be a grandma. Yay! Can't wait. I'm so excited. But, you know, they are earning $7,000 a month, and I'm working with them now, building their business to be bigger. So all my kids and their partners are doing this full time. What has that done for us as a family? We travel. We have been all over the world. This year, let me give you our schedule. This year, I've already told my kids, guys, in May, we're going to Thailand. There's a Pro 3 conference, and I'm going to go speak there. In June, we go to the Philippines. Plan your calendars. Get ready. Save your money. Put it aside. We're going to the Philippines. They're opening up. We're going to the opening event. After that, we are going to go into a charity opportunity in the Philippines where, guys, I want to go and help women. There's apparently a huge issue there with young girls who fall pregnant. And because it's a very Christian community, the families reject the girls when they're pregnant and not married. So they go to homes, have the babies, and give the babies up for adoption. Well, I'm going to go see what's going on. They've asked me, they need help, they need funding. And whether we go build another house or do whatever, you see, that's what you can do when you have money. You have options, right? So I've told the kids, June, we're going to Philippines. Guys, then you've got to qualify for Croatia. I don't even want to know that you're not qualifying. You've got to qualify, because what we're going to do, we're going to Croatia, which is early September. We're going to stay on in Europe for 2 weeks. Then we're going to go to the States for 2 weeks. We're going to hire our RV and travel around. And then we're going to the global convention, because the global convention is mid-October, right? Like my kids are planned, and before that, even, or in between that, we're going to Cape York. We're getting a camping trip up to Cape York for 6 weeks. You see, this is the life my family has, because one mom said yes, and I went to work, and I pushed and pushed and pushed. And some days I fell over. I would cry the whole day. I would lie in bed all day, not want to talk to anybody. You know, I would eat a whole slab of chocolate or eat a whole tub of ice cream, whatever I needed to do to get through the day. But I just somehow managed to pick myself up again and go. You know, Talita, you said that you sort of found your place, knowing that you can bring, you know, the kingdom more into this. Well, God says the righteous will fall 77 times, or whatever that scripture says, but they get up and they go again. They get up and they go again. They get up and they go again. And that was one of the verses that propelled me to get up, because I knew that because I'm God's child, I'm righteous and I have a rightful place to have a massive business, to be successful, to be an influencer, to be that mom who sets her children up and her grandchildren, right? So you have the same. So number one is make the decision and be hungry. Somebody who's hungry is immersed in everything. You know, no person gets up and says, I want to be an Olympian and I want to swim. I want to be an Olympian swimmer, but I'll see if I can find time this week to practice. Nobody says that, right? They watch every bit of training they can find on how to improve. Who's done it? Testimonials. They plug in, they have coaches, they are committed, they disciplined, they go. Does it hurt? Yes, it hurts a lot. But the goal is there and they're hungry and they immerse themselves. So secondly, you need to immerse yourself in everything. Immersion means this: you dream it, you think it, you eat it, you sleep it, becomes part of your DNA. When you have mind space outside of, you know, your family, God is number one, your family's number two, you know, maybe you're working, you know, if you are, you know, do your best at your job. But when you're doing your job, if your mind can wander, don't think about, you know, what soapy can I watch tonight? No, think about your business. Who can I talk to? Who can I add to my list? Always have that in your DNA, like it becomes a part of you. You don't miss any trainings, you don't miss any events. You have coaches, you have accountability partners, like you do it all out. Nobody in life ever has massive success and they're not fully immersed in that thing. Nobody. So immersion is really important. And then 3, understand the business. Understand what we do. If you are focused on bringing in customers, change your policies, change your focus. You need to focus on distributors. You see, customers are awesome to have and they become a byproduct of talking to distributors. But every month you need to enroll distributors, every month. You know, your reach can only go so far with just customers. I don't believe I've ever seen anybody build a business greater than Pro 3 with just customers. I know there's a lady in the States that built a Pro 4, but personally in my team, I have not seen anybody build 10,000 a month in volume with just customers. You need other distributors, right? They need to help you find more customers and more distributors, and they then help you and they help you. So your business method should be talk business. Get good at talking about the business. Don't feel like you have to apologize. People need this. Oh my gosh, let me ask you a question. Are you mad with the person who told you about the business? No. Nobody ever says I'm mad with you. Only the ones who do nothing and they leave and they say it doesn't work. But when you work it, when you immerse yourself, when you see the results, you are never ever going to say I'm mad with you for introducing me to this. So don't feel like you have to hold back telling people. You are simply sharing an opportunity and they make the decision whether they're in or not. And you really, at the end of the day, you couldn't care less. Like for me, I actually don't mind whether people join or not. Is it going to stop me from building to a Pro 10 and beyond? No. You know, sometimes I feel the need to say to, if I'm on a 3-way or maybe talking to a prospect myself, sometimes, not always, but sometimes I say this, I say, hey, I just want you to know, we are going to build the Philippines to $10 million a month with or without you. You can choose. And either way, it's okay. But just know we're going to do it. And you have an opportunity now to be a part of that. And that's the reality, guys. It's right where you are now in your business. LiveVantage is new. It is new. If you look at our growth potential, you know, Steve Fife, our CEO, his commitment, he told us Elite just the other day, that his commitment and goal to the board is that we will become a $500 million company over the next 3 years. What does that mean? We have to just a little bit more than double sales. And he actually brought it down to the elites and he said, if every elite made 1 more elite or 2 more elites, we're there, right? So this company is growing. You know, the potential especially guys, I have to just say this to you, in the Asian markets, I've experienced that myself now. I've just launched multiple actually Philippines teams. I've got my own team over there as well. How? Just by finding people to talk to. I don't know anybody in the Philippines. I had a VA there, but she hasn't introduced me to any of these people. I just found them on Facebook and on LinkedIn, started chatting with them. And then now I've just launched this month a new Thai team. How? Again, just Facebook, just talking to people, right? Building rapport. 2 years I've been talking to this lady. 2 years. And finally she said yes. Right now I've started talking to people in Singapore. Singapore is massive, yet we have nobody there, and the company launched there. The Philippines is still huge. On Saturday, we were on the China call. Oh my goodness, I couldn't sleep Saturday night because I saw the potential. LiveVantage has changed something in China, and the something is this. The people who sold the product within China used to earn 15% commission, 1.5. Do you know what they're earning now? 50, right? Oh my goodness, can you imagine? Who do you know in China? Who do you know who knows somebody in China? Who do you know who knows somebody who's a Chinese in Australia, New Zealand, the States, wherever? They all have family back there. And our products are the best in anti-aging and in health and in prevention. They need our products. So see the opportunity, immerse yourself fully, and then become smart at how to build the business. Now, the building blocks, I like to call them, in our business are, number one, you always, when you look at setting a goal, you always look at 3 things. The first one is you look at who do you have in your business. Now, you may have one distributor, you always look at the distributors at the existing business, and then you have a meeting with your personally enrolled, or a coaching session, or if you feel like you're not equipped to do that yet, bring in your sponsor or bring in a leader to work with you. But especially now at the start of the year, you should already have had, or have booked in at least, a meeting with every distributor that you've personally enrolled that's doing anything. Even those that have done nothing, it could just be a, hey, I just want to touch base and see what you want to do for 2022, right? I'm going to do nothing. That's okay. Let's just quickly still hop onto a call. I have some news to share with you, right? And the news may just be the new bonuses we have or the new incentives we have. So every person, get them on a call and find out what their goals are, and then set daily actions to help them achieve those goals and keep them accountable, right? If you say to me, I want to be a Pro 3 in the next 3 months, well, okay, well, what we need to do is this month, make sure we get you to at least a Pro 1. If you're not a Pro 1 or a Pro 2, you know, then you've got to maintain that next month. Let's see, next month we get you up to 3,000 in volume. And then by the 3rd month, you know, for the 5,000, who do you have that you're working with? How many people are you talking to every day? Who have you added to the customer groups? All of that, that you're coaching. So you give that person clear direction. If you want to hop on, guys, like Talita, I'll just open this up to your entire team. We now do ITT workshops, which are like power hours. We do them 3 times a day, morning, midday, and at night. You can hop onto all of them, one of them, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 3 hours, whatever you want to do. And on there, we teach you how to do the ITT. We actually call it ITT FCE. So ITT is for invite, tool, team. FC is follow up, close, and enroll, because that sort of seems to be the bit that we forget about. So we teach that every day, and we work together with our distributors online. So anytime, guys, you feel free to hop on there. It's always on the 77 number. Password is 2020. Okay, so Talita can share that with you, but know exactly what your distributors are going to do. And then you have an idea of what's going to come in through your existing team. ask them, who do you have? Who should we meet with? Who do you have that's going to set goals? And, you know, if you want to be a Pro 3, who do you have that could be a Pro 2? Do you have 2 people that can be Pro 2s? If we help those 2 get to Pro 2, you Pro 3. So it always works all the way down the line. And we call this tap routing, very important. The second thing you're going to look at is your subscriptions. Are my subscriptions growing? Are my team making sure that when they sponsor people on subscriptions? Do they understand the 1 month for every decade you've been alive on ProTandem? Do they make sure that people are locked in when they start them for the next 3-4 months, right? That's the way to do it, because giving people just 30 days of ProTandem, you're wasting your time, you're wasting their time, and it's not good for our product, because then people say it doesn't work. You want to make sure they're on there for at least 1 month for every decade. So are your people coming in on subscription? And then if they are, your subscription should be growing. If they're not, what's happening? Why are they being cancelled? You know your numbers. And the second way that you then grow your business and reach your own goals is to work out the average subscription value. So it's simple. You look at the volume that's gone through, and you look at the number of subscriptions you have, and it's all in your homepage and your back office, and you can get an average. Now, the average should be 80. You should be sitting on an average of at least 80. That means most people are using 2 products. That's where you want to be. That's the global average is 80. If you're sitting below that, then your team is performing under global average, right? So identify that, and then do trainings or do promotions or incentives on, hey, we need to upsell. Go to all your existing customers and distributors and make sure that if they've been on ProTandem NRF2, they now introduce NRF1, or, you know, ask them about their gut, their skin, their hair, their, you know, heart health for Omegas, all of that. So you upsell and get your average to at least 80 points. The third one is, now you know what your team's going to bring in, you know what your goal is for subscriptions. And the third one is, what am I still short? This is my job. I need to go find this. So let's say you're aiming for Pro 4, that's 10,000 in points. And between your subscriptions and your team, you're going to bring in 8,000. Well, then 2,000 you need to go find yourself. 2 platinum packs, 4 gold packs. You know, maybe it's 1 platinum and 5 customers on 200 points each. Whatever it is, have a plan. And then you go and you do it, right? So consistently recruiting for yourself is really important. The second thing is to understand duplication. Guys, there's only one thing that duplicates, and that's systems. People don't duplicate because we're all different. Systems duplicate. So ensure that your entire team is clear on a system for when somebody joins. What do I do with them? When somebody, you know, has had their first month on the product, what do I do with them? When I'm prospecting, what is the system? Like, do I add them to a group? Do I get them on a 3-way call? Like, you need to have step-by-step systems. People thrive when there's systems. So have something like a launch guide for that new distributor who knows exactly what they got to do step by step. Have something like a sponsors guide for the distributor who's the sponsor, to make sure they're doing everything they need to do with their new distributor, and have little tick boxes. Tick, I've done this. Tick, I've done that. Tick, I've done that. So systems are really important. And duplication in rank. Pro 2 duplicates to every rank. 2 Pro 2s gives you a Pro 3. Now, I love to work on Pro 3s because it's easier calculation wise. If somebody says to me, Charlotte, and in fact, I had one just the other day, just last week, I want to be a Pro 5 in by the end of June, what I need to do. And it's a brand new distributor. I said, it's super simple. Go find 4 people who want to build this business with you, and help each of them rank to Pro 3 and you Pro 5. That's how simple it is. Go find 4. Does it mean you're only going to sponsor 4? No, you're probably going to sponsor 10 or even more. But when it's your warm market, they tend to work a bit more than if it's cold market. So everything duplicates in those 5,000 points. subscriptions are really important for growing your business. You know, we are in this business because we want long-term income based on those repeat orders. And if you don't have subscriptions, there's no repeat orders or little repeat orders, which means you have to keep enrolling to earn the dollars. And that's not cool. So subscriptions are really important. In fact, the way I measure the growth of my business is not by my volume, it's by my subscriptions. Volume relates to ranking, but that does not relate to growth of your business. Growth of your business is subscriptions, okay? Now, how do I lead my team and inspire my team? I work purely on the company's incentives and promotions. So right now, our entire team is focused on earning enough points for Croatia. And what I do is I break it up into month by month, what you've got to achieve. And right now our team know by the end of January, you should be sitting on 125 points. If you're not, let's say you've fallen behind, I have a plan for them. If you're a brand new distributor and you get your first 2 months of triple points, I have a plan for them. If you are sitting on 125 at the end of January, your plan, there's a plan for you too that shows under each of the categories, so the sell, the retain, the grow, all of that, under each category, it tells you exactly how many points you've got to get each month until the end of June to stay on track and to win, to earn it. So we spend a lot of time planning and strategizing around incentives and around promotions. And so actually I'm sitting right now, guys, busy planning. I was busy working on this. So you've seen the MVP bonuses. Have you guys looked at that, Talita?
Charlotte, actually, you're probably one of the best people to go because you explained it the best out of all of them. None of my team have their head around it yet. I haven't actually gone into taking them through it. So I think if you have time, but before we jump into MVP, if anyone has any specific questions that you'd like her to answer, just pop it in the chat box so that she can quickly answer at the end of our call. Thank you so much.
Let's stop for a minute and just ask, guys, if you got any questions, ask now while I have a drink.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
So my plan is to roll straight out of high school into this and have my own business and have my own setup. I'm not legally old enough to do that yet. And so I'm waiting to be old enough to actually start making the money. But I know there are things I can start doing beforehand, like just making friends and building my outreach. But is there anything else aside from just meeting people and making solid connections that you can think of that I could be doing?
100%, mate. Has Mum signed you up yet?
He won't be 18 until April. So once he's 18 on his birthday, he'll get signed up.
So I always get around that. Now, you're not going to go and tell compliance and you're not going to go and tell, like, you know, the corporate staff, but I found a loophole. And the loophole is this: to be a customer, it really doesn't matter what your age is. It's only really for being a distributor and start earning money that they have to stick to the 18. So what you could do is sign your son up as a customer. In fact, what I would do if this was my son is I would look at the possibility of moving my strongest leg under him, because legs can be moved, right? So that already you, Mum, you're starting to build his one leg for him. That's what I did for my kids. So when they came in, they just started building. In fact, I built 2 legs for my kids, each of them, and they've built their 3rd leg. So I would strongly advise you. And look, it's a personal thing. Like I know there's a big leader in our business that is very vocal about the fact that she will never give her kids any signups, and that's really a personal thing. I don't care what other people do. For me, as a mom, I wanted them to benefit. Like, I wanted my kids to benefit from my work. Why not? Why would I leave a level of commission open to somebody out of my family when I could put my kid in there, right? So I did that. I put my kids in as my daughter wasn't yet 18. She was a customer, and then I just upgraded her to a distributor when she turned 18.
Okay.
So I would strongly advise you, like compliance will move a leg up to, like they say 5,000 points, but 10,000 they move them. I mean, I've had a leg move that was 20,000. It just goes through like an appeal.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Certainly do it. Like move somebody under your son now, put him in as a customer, move him.
Charlotte, do they confirm if they move a leg, they don't go to that leg and have to get signatures from that leg to be moved?
But you just got it from the person you move, and you need 9 signatures above.
Okay, just above, not below.
Just
okay.
above, not below, yeah.
Fantastic.
And for me, I mean, generally that's super easy to do.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, that's not a problem.
Yeah. So honestly, I really recommend you do that. Like I teach all my distributors to do that. And I mean, I have, you know, and if compliance ever had to like ask me, because compliance will say this to you, well, we don't know about we're okay with. But the minute you tell me something, then I have to act on it. So, I mean, I have mums that have had babies, that have got their babies in as a customer, you know, because in 18 years, can you imagine the size of that business? Oh my goodness. And I'm working with these women all the time. Like they're gonna have millions of points. That kid turns 18. I mean, it could even go into a trust fund. Doesn't mean the money goes to the child. You could put it into a trust fund, you know. So yeah, I'm very family oriented, guys. You know, some leaders will say to me, why do you tell your team to put their people in there? Because that means there's less commission for you. I don't care. I don't care. There's enough commission for me and my family as well. But I'm here to change families. As I wanted my family's future to be changed, so I want to give somebody else the same opportunity. So don't go telling whoever that I told you that. But that is just honestly what I do, right? So, okay, so let's get back to you. Learn. Watch everything. Watch everything. There's so much free stuff. This is who you got to follow. Fraser Brooks.
Yeah,
Fraser
I'm
Brooks.
already following him.
Okay, number 1, he is the absolute guru at how to build on social media. Watch every video that he does. He has a lot of free groups that you can get into so you can see the internal stuff. Follow him. Secondly, Ray Higdon. Have you heard of Ray Higdon? Ray Higdon is the second most successful network marketer who builds online. Like he is massive in terms of guys now, right? He doesn't actually do a network marketing company anymore. He's a coach, but he's got tons of free stuff too, and he's really well respected. Follow him. And then of course, Eric Worre. I mean, Eric Worre is a grounded network marketing trainer. Don't go signing up to $10,000 packages. You don't need it. There's enough free stuff there to get you started. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make a list when you're ready to start your business. Right now, you want to grow your database, get to know as many people as you can, and not just get to know them, get them on Insta or on Facebook, or, you know, most young people build through TikTok and Insta now. I don't know if you actually on Facebook, like my daughter, she's the youngest one. She doesn't do much on Facebook. My son does it just because he has to, but he's actually on Insta more. Go find my kids as well and follow them, and, you know, become friends with them, and you'll see the kind of stuff that they post. So here's another thing. Go find 20 young people that are killing it in network marketing and follow them. Okay. Go read books like My First Year in Network Marketing. Like, I can give you 20 books that you've got to read, like the 20 most important books that you've got to read. If you just message me, then I'll send you the list. And here's the last thing I'll say, podcasts. You know, there's a podcast app. It's a little purple icon. You can download on your phone. It's free, costs you nothing. Go find Fraser Brooks. Go find Eric Worre. Ray Higdon's on there too. And the last one is go find MLM Nation. It's Simon Chan, MLM Nation. And Simon Chan has about 600 interviews on there of interviews he's done with network marketers who've had success. And he asks them everything. What was your biggest obstacle? How did you overcome it? How did you lead your team? Blah, blah. You will learn so much from that. Okay. So listen as much as you can. Start with this. Earl Nightingale did a audio years ago called The Strangest Secret. Go to YouTube and find it, The Strangest Secret. Listen to that thing a million times. And then Jim Rohn did one as well called How to Build a Network Marketing Company or Business. Go find that. They're both an hour long. Listen to them until you can almost recite the whole thing. And mate, I'm excited for you because you are going to kill it. When you have all that stuff in your head, because mom's already set you up, because you have all these coaches, oh, you're going to kill it. You're going to kill it.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Here's one. You're welcome. Here's one that you should go follow. Now, I like her, but I'm not a massive, like it's not my style, but she is killing it. This lady is the biggest network marketer in the world right now. She sponsors between 200 and 500 people every month. Her name is Jessie Lee Ward, Jessie Lee, and then Ward, WARD. Go follow her. She's mad, this woman. She's on TikTok. They said like 100 stories a day. Like she's just full on. So I'm not saying you need to be her, but it's good to see what she does to give you ideas. Okay. All right, let me get back. So I hope that's helped you.
Thank you, Charlotte.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have about 10 minutes, and then, well, we can continue until we have guests who jump on. We've got an overview at 10:30 or 11:30. So whenever guests jump on, that's when we're finished.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the most important? Do you want me to quickly go through MVP, or do you want to? Okay, so let me quickly go through the new bonuses. If I can find the PowerPoint, hold on. Okay, so guys, the new bonuses, there's two parts of it. The one is called, what is it called? MVP Seller, which is if you have 500 points, doesn't matter whether it's 1 or 20 customers in the second month buying 500 points or more, you're going to earn $100 US bonus. So let me say that again. In your customer's second month order, only the second month, for every 500 PV collectively, you earn 100 bonus. So if you have, let's say, all of your customers that you enrolled in December and January, and it's the incentive hasn't kicked in yet, so I'm just using the date as an example. But let's say everybody you enrolled in December, in January, those customers place their second month order, and in total, it's 500 PV. You're going to earn $100 US bonus with your residual income next month. On the 15th of next month, you'll be paid at $100. If it's 1,000 points in total, doesn't matter if it's one customer or 20, doesn't matter if it's one order or 500, doesn't matter if it's a subscription or a spot order, any order, all added together for their second month. For every 500 PV, you get $100 US bonus. That one is simple, okay? Then, MVP Builder, which is the distributor bonus. So, this is how it works. The system will go and find, it's only your personally enrolled, will go and find 3 distributors that you personally enrolled between September last year, that's when it kicks in, and now, and as we continue on, it will do so every month. And if any three have 200 PV, it's going to qualify you for tier 1, which means you earn $100 bonus. So in other words, it's your personally enrolled distributors, any 3 of them since September last year, and the incentive finishes the end of September this year. So any 3 that do 200 PV in the same calendar month, the system's going to say, well done, Talita, you have completed tier 1, we're going to pay you $100 bonus. Then the system will look at, do you have any 3 that have done tier 1 and tier 2? In other words, any 3 person enrolled from 1 September right through to the whole end of the promotion. In the same calendar month, they personally have 200 PV, and each of them have 3 distributors that also had 200 PV. It's going to say, congratulations, tick, you've earned tier 2, which is 500 US. Okay, so I'll say that again. Tier 1 is you plus 3. So you with 3 person enrolled in the same calendar month that are doing 200 PV. And the PV, guys, is just 40 of their own order, 160 customers. So it doesn't have to be 200 of their own order. Okay, so any 3 person enrolled within the same calendar month does 200 PV, you get tier 1. If those 3, no, I'm not going to say those 3 because that's wrong. If you have any 3 that have done tier 1, so they personally have 200 PV, plus they each have 3 who have 200 PV, that means you're getting another $500 bonus.
Hey,
Any
Charlotte.
questions there?
Charlotte, thank you. We've just got our first guest on. I might just
Okay.
welcome her. Hi, Patty.
Oh,
Welcome.
hi. You said 6:30, right?
Yes, you're on time. We're running a bit behind schedule. Welcome to our call. We've got some gorgeous about people sharing just different information as we're all learning. Patty, we're going to start the call in 5 minutes when the rest of the guests jump on. So if you want to stay on
Yeah.
and just listen.
And how long is this meeting? Or?
Well, we should be about 25 minutes and 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, thanks.
But thanks for jumping on. Appreciate it.
Sure.
So Charlotte, what we might do is you can.
I can send you a recording because I'm actually doing this tonight with a team. So I'll send you that
fantastic.
recording.
Thank
Okay.
you so much. But
You're
before
welcome.
you go, may I just thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate it. My team's been writing down lots of different keynotes as to just what you've shared. I know that I've learned again every time we get on, I learn. But I want to just quickly ask, has anyone got any more information or questions? I know, Samantha, did you have anything specific, or Tessa, anything specific you wanted to ask?
To be honest, it's been a bit overwhelming, so I'm trying just to get it all to settle in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
I so appreciate all this. It's fantastic. Yeah, I've taken great notes. I love your 4-point system. Stay hungry, immersion. Yep, I'm very excited. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome, guys. Anytime, shout if you need another call. I'll hop on.
Thank you.
Okay, good luck, guys. See ya.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Charlotte.
Thanks.
Bye.